Hey all you zealots and zerglings, it's time for another tutorial video here. And given the title of this video, you're probably expecting some nice tips on some cool Raven play. Well, if that's what you're thinking, you are wrong. Because I am actually not even Terran, I am Zerg as usual. Now actually what this is really going to be about is some, tips on early defense from pressure. And they may not be the best tips, but this is just a 4v4 some of my friends and I were playing on the ladder, and I just saw some things that might have been beneficial to point out. So we're going to kind of cover that right now. Now what we've got right here is, well, this guy, if you want to try to pronounce that name, Korpik Lani, actually went for a 6 pool, and this is his first batch of Zerglings. And they are headed to my friend Wolfpack's base, where he's trying to wall in. Another thing right there, it looks like he's got this queued up. He's not bringing an SCV off the line to do it. It looks like one of these two guys is going to build it. The second he queues that up, he's going to spend the resources. So, I don't know, maybe he wants to pull another SCV out there to get it started earlier. Of course, then he's still got this gap right here, so his wall wasn't tight. Maybe he could have got it done sooner. But regardless of that, these Zerglings are going to run right in, just as the SCV was about to drop down the supply depot. And he's going to go for the SCVs, and what do? The SCVs run right away. Now let's pause here again for a second, and let's take a look. Right here we've got, including the SCV that's here, we got about 17 SCVs. 16? I think we only 16. He must have stopped building that. So he's got 16 SCVs against 6 Zerglings. SCVs 45 health. Zerglings 35 health. SCVs 5 attack damage. Zerglings 5 attack damage. Zerglings 0.7 weapon speed. SCV is 1.5, so Zerglings do hit twice as fast, but they do the same damage with each hit. They have 10 fewer hit points, and they are outnumbered almost 3 to 1. So it might have been a little more beneficial if he had actually attacked these Zerglings with these SCVs, and there's a good chance they were going to get a surround, so he'd have more SCVs hitting these Zerglings than the Zerglings would be hitting the SCVs. He probably could have killed this off, then maybe finished off his wall and been just fine. If you go to the challenge mission rush defense, you'll get the sense of how that works. But instead he runs them off, runs them out of their base, and his command center is going to get beat up a little bit. And then for some reason he just parks them out here, like he thinks the command center is going to kill off the Zerglings, and they aren't going to come out after all his SCVs sitting there. So now he's lifting off all the buildings that he can. And now he's going to run his SCVs away. So, if he had gotten this wall completed, there's no way 6 Zerglings are going to break that down. He could have popped out a couple of Marines, shot them away, and would have been just fine. So that's the thing about the 6 pool. If you deflect it, then the guy, has nothing. If we go back to his base, here's his next crop of 6 Zerglings coming. But we go back to his base, and this is what he has. 6 drones, which, since one went into the spawning pool, he only built 1 drone this entire game, and the rest has been Zerglings. So, he's got quite a lot of minerals here, which is kind of ridiculous. He should at least be popping out a queen or something, and these guys could be building something. So, this is not even probably the very well executed 6 pool. But no matter, this isn't about running a 6 pool, this is about defense. And he's still running his SCVs around. Yes, please take them to my expo, because I would so much enjoy having 6 Zerglings attacking my expo. Oh, and I am going to come try to help, but, I'm quite outnumbered. But see, he could turn his SCVs around at any point and help me out with this, but he's just going to keep running around. My Zerglings are going to get slaughtered. And now, yeah, I'm going to try to throw down a Spine Crawler, which is way too late. And now this Queen, probably bad positioning on it. Probably should have shifted my building structures around a little bit, but if I got the Queen wedged in between a couple of buildings, these Zerglings would not be able to get a good surround on her, and she could probably do a lot of damage before she goes down. But Zerglings love surrounds. And now I'm pumping out my own Zerglings to defend, and now watch this. I've got my drones are vulnerable now, so I'm going to send them on attack. Take out that Zergling, they take out that Zergling, and now they got another 4 Zerglings there. And once my Zerglings pop, that's going to take care of that nice quickly. See? I think drones... Oh, drones got not quite as many hit points as the SCV. They still do the same damage and, you know, the same rate of fire. So a little flimsier, but then again, they also regenerate hit points while they're being attacked. So I don't know the math on that, but that might have to do it. But I pulled them out, stalled just long enough to get my Zerglings to pop. We took care of that just fine. So that's just one word of warning. If your OMG, my base is dying moment comes and you're just being attacked and you've got nothing to stop it, pull your workers off the line. Heck, if you don't and they all die, you're dead anyhow, so you might as well throw them on the front lines. And this actually goes, you know, for any time that your base is under siege and you just don't think you've got enough to stop it. I mean, you'd rather fend off an attack and have no workers left than not fend off the attack and have nothing left. So yeah, he's gonna, you know, plot around there, and so, you know, I deflected that attack okay, but, you know, he's got his, you know, his SCVs back to work trying to rebuild his wall, but but then he's just gonna walk these guys in here. So anyhow, just gonna show you the two differences between how we handle the Zergling rushes here. One guy, you know, ran in a panic state away, which maybe sometimes that's what you gotta do. It all depends on how many units are coming at you and whether or not you think you can get away. And the other option is to, you know, make your last stand. And oh gee, these drones are not going to work. Wonder what happened to my rally point. Anyhow, I hope that was informative to you. I highly recommend you try the Rush Defense Challenge mission, because that will kind of reinforce the point, although it's extremely a frustrating mission. But I hope it was informative. I hope you learned that your workers are not useless little weaklings that just pull up their skirts and run anytime there's any action near the base, and have a day.